communication class, and I'm Uma Joshi from LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. Today, we are going to start with a new topic, that is ethics. Now, ethics is a very important topic as far as professionals are concerned. And as far as engineers are concerned, they face a lot of situations where they have to make decisions and take actions. But many a times they are confused whether their decisions are ethical or unethical. So today we are going to talk about different attitudes, different kind of thinkings that professionals or engineers may have at the time of taking important decisions which may create an impact on people and society. In this topic, we are going to speak about 5 different aspects of ethics in engineering. That is, number 1, scope of ethics in engineering. Number 2, we are going to talk about accepting and sharing professional responsibilities. Number 3, we are going to talk about ethical corporations. Number 4, we are going to talk about the ethical dilemmas that professionals face during their work life. And number 5, we are going to talk about moral choices. So in today's lecture, we will be discussing about just 2 topics, that is the scope of ethics in engineering and professional responsibility. So first of all, let us talk about the scope of engineering ethics and why it is important to learn ethics in engineering. Now first of all, what is the meaning of ethics? So ethics is a study of moral principles that governs a person's decision and actions. Engineering ethics are the rules and standards that an engineer must follow to undertake the activities. Now, due to innovation in the engineering field and because whatever the engineer does impacts the society, it becomes very difficult to judge the situations whether it will harm anyone or not. Now, something which harms others can be called as unethical, and something which is for the good of everyone and it also doesn't harm anyone in the process, then it is called ethical. But as I said, that the situation in the life of an engineer is a very dynamic one, because the job of an engineer also includes designing new products, because engineers find out solutions for the problems in the society. And because of these new products, sometimes even they are not aware whether these products or services will cause any harm to anyone. We can take examples of many such inventions in the past which over the period of time have proved to be detrimental for the environment, and ultimately they have become a risk to human life. Now an engineer can never be sure enough whether anything will harm others or not. And that is why it is very, very important to see the different aspects of ethics before taking any actions or making any decisions. So there are some small and big ethical issues which are present in the daily life of an engineer. So that is why learning ethics and learning the different aspects of ethics is very, very important for an engineer. This is the scope of engineering ethics. Actually, engineers must be well aware about the different kinds of attitudes they may and their surrounding may have towards certain decisions and towards the ethical issues. So now coming on to the next point, that is the professional responsibility. Now, as far as professional responsibility is concerned, there are many different points. Now, here we are discussing the professional responsibility because when it comes to ethics, it is very important whether a person considers his or her own responsibility for the outcome of anything. So if an engineer considers himself or herself completely responsible for the outcome, then it is very obvious that the engineer will take ethical decisions and actions. So we will be discussing different aspects on how the professionals accept and share responsibility within their team. So firstly, we will be discussing that when a harm occurs, what happens, or what are the different reasons of harms occurring. Now, whenever any harm occurs, either to some person or to the public or the society, because of the outcome of any project of an organization, or because of some product of an organization, or because of the engineer's work, whenever this harm occurs, then what are the different angles through which people accept their own responsibility? How do they see the harm occurring? How do they see their own responsibility at the time of the harm occurring to others? So there are three such aspects. Number one, harm occurs intentionally. Now, intentionally means tries to create a harm for others in his or her environment, then it is called intentionally. Now here the person may do this because of some purposes. It can be some self-interest for which the person creates harm to others. The second one is negligence. Now negligence means that it is unknowingly, but the harm occurs because a due care has not been taken by the engineer. Now why this happens? Now when we say that it has happened negligently, means the engineer doesn't know that the outcome of the work will create any harm to others. But it happens just because of the reason that the engineer has not taken due care and not analyzed the entire situation. And that is why it is called negligence. Now the third reason is recklessly. People create harms recklessly. Recklessly means they already know that a certain action will have some harm on others. They know that it may have some harm and they still go on with the same action. What is the reason behind it? The reason behind it may be many, but some of the very important things are that, number one, for the self-interest, people may not tell it to others, or they don't want to go into the hard work of finding out the solution. Also, sometimes people feel that it may cause a harm, but what if it doesn't cause a harm? Then the things will be okay. This is called a reckless behavior. Now, in the present situation, we can consider people not wearing masks as a reckless behavior because they know that if they don't wear a mask, the chances of them getting infected by the coronavirus is very high. But still they take a chance thinking that it may not infect them. So this is called a reckless behavior. So similarly, when an engineer knows that some harm will occur because of the innovation, but still carries on with the action, then it is called reckless. So these are the three reasons through which harm occurs. So now, because of these three things, the engineers look at their responsibility in a different manner. So let us see how an engineer or a professional accepts and share responsibilities with others and what basic attitudes they have towards taking the responsibility. Now again, there are three basic approach towards accepting responsibility for any outcomes. The first approach is called the minimalist view. Now as the name suggests, the minimalist view is a view where a person feels that if the person has done the minimum required things, then their work is done or their responsibility is carried out. So when an engineer follows all the standard procedures and rules to carry out certain process, then it is called a minimalist view. Now here the person does all these standard procedures just to keep himself or herself at the safer side. They don't want to get into any kind of trouble, or they don't want to be held responsible for any adverse outcome. So here actually people don't take up the responsibility for any outcome. The reason is that because they may be the part of the team and they feel that my work is done if I follow something which is basic. So because of this attitude, many a times many unethical actions and decisions are taken, and due to that there are a lot of harms which happen in the society. We can take a very good example of this. Like last year in Surat, in a coaching institute, there was a fire. Why it happened? Because due diligence was not practiced. And this is only because of the reason that people don't understand that their actions will lead to some harm to other people's lives also. Now the second view is the reasonable care view. Now a person who works with this kind of view always thinks that they have complete responsibility towards the outcome of any project in which they are involved. Even if they are working in a team, but they feel that if any outcome happens, their responsibility was also there. So they feel that if anything wrong is happening during their work, it is their duty to correct that. That means that a person who takes reasonable care takes care of the minimum standards and procedures, but they go one step ahead and check all the aspects of the situations to give a double check and to make sure that no harm occurs due to the outcome of the project. So this is called reasonable care attitude. Now reasonable care attitude is always expected from all professionals, because no matter whether you are doing your own job or if you are working with a company as an employee, even if you are part of the organization, it is your individual responsibility as a professional, that is as an engineer. If any outcome harms people, then you are also involved into it, and that is why you should have a reasonable care attitude. Now the third attitude towards responsibility is a little bit beyond the reasonable care, which is called beyond one's duty. People with such attitudes always goes one step ahead and does something extra for the project or the customer. They always delight their customer by giving something extra. They always delight their superiors or delight their environment with something extra. So they not only take care that the minimum requirement of the ethical issue should be taken, nobody should be harmed, but they also feel that if they can give extra service to people, then it is always better, and they feel that it is their duty always to give better to the society. But people with such attitude are taken for granted. Why so? Because going beyond the duty is not expected from anyone, and these people only do it out of their sense of responsibility. So they are taken for granted. Also, their acts are not appreciated much, and even if any person doesn't have such kind of attitude, it is not unethical, and that is why not many people have such kind of attitude. If every professional or engineer has such kind of attitude, then they can deliver better and better to the society, and the society will be a better place. So these are the aspects of accepting and sharing responsibilities. But as I say that people have their minimalist view, they have the reasonable care view, and they have beyond the call duty. And also when a harm occurs, there are three different aspects of occurring the harm. Now, one more aspect of responsibility is whistleblowing. Now, whistleblowing means informing either your higher authorities or people outside through media about some wrongdoing in the organization. And that is why it is called whistleblowing. You are making everyone aware. Nowadays, because of the social media, it becomes very easy to do the whistleblowing. But the only problem is that the person who does whistleblowing has a risk of his or her own career. So whistleblowing has to be done only if you are very sure about the facts and you have the proofs that it will create a harm to the society. Number two, first you have to go to your immediate authority and tell them about it. If they don't listen to it, then you have to go to the higher authority, and even if the highest authority of your organization doesn't listen to it, then you must go to the media, or then you must do the external whistleblowing. So whistleblowing should not be done if it is not required. It should be done only and only if the situation is such that without it you cannot do. Now, because whistleblowing has a risk, it is not only the responsibility, but it is the right of a person to tell others that something which is unethical is happening. And because it has a right, they have also to be backed legally. So whistleblowing is also a very important aspect of responsibility. Now, why people don't accept and share their responsibilities? What are the reasons that stop them from accepting their responsibilities? Let us find out the reasons. So number one reason is the self-interest. So the self-interest of a person and the interest of the society or the organization may conflict with each other. People only work in the organization just to earn money or maybe for their own career growth. And in the process of always being ethical, it may be a slow process sometimes, and you may attract some negative tendencies from your environment. Because of that, you avoid taking the responsibility, and even if you know that some harm is going to happen, you may keep quiet. That is called self-interest. The second reason is fear. Fear of affecting your career adversely, fear of handling the situations too much, fear of doing a lot of hard work to find out the solution. All these doesn't allow a person to take a responsibility. And so, even if something wrong is going on, you may keep quiet. The third reason is self-deception. Now, self-deception means telling something to yourself and deceiving yourself. So, even if you know something wrong is happening, you may tell yourself that because everyone is doing it, that is why it is right. Or, in the corporate world, it happens and it is very normal. And because people have started looking at some unethical things to be normal in the corporate world, it becomes very difficult to carry out ethical activities. So this self-deception is a thing that makes you fool that even if something unethical is happening, you feel that everything is okay and it is normal. But then later on, the outcomes may harm the others. Now the fourth reason is ignorance. So ignorance is a very obvious reason, and ignorance about anything. For example, the engineers have to do innovation. So sometimes they may not assume things, or they may not be able to imagine the harm that their innovation may create to the society, and that is the ignorance. Now to overcome this ignorance, the engineer should always keep on imagining different situations and look at the situation from different perspectives. So because of that, if you keep on analyzing that what if this happens, then the outcome will be this. If A happens, this will be the outcome. If B happens, this will be the outcome. And if such will be the outcome, how it is going to affect the society. So when you analyze a situation with different perspective, this ignorance part can be taken care of. Now the fifth reason is different perspectives. So when you have to work in a team, we already know people have different perspectives, and because of the different perspectives, Even if sometimes you may feel that something is unethical or wrong, other people may have a different attitude towards that, and because of that you may not be able to convince them, and so you will have to carry out with the same process. The sixth reason is the lack of acceptance. Now, lack of acceptance can be either the lack of acceptance of own error or others' error. Now, when you have to accept your own error, that means you are taking the entire responsibility on your own shoulder, which will create a problem to you, because then you have to face a lot of difficulties in your own organization or outside the organization in the face of the society. And lack of acceptance of other people's errors, that is telling about other people's errors, is also there, because if you have to tell other people's error, then you know that you have to face a lot of opposition from others. And the last reason is groupthink. Now, groupthink means the influence of the group. So whenever you are individually, personally sitting and thinking about something, then you may have some other perspective or opinion. But the moment you sit in the group and you start speaking with people about your own idea, the effect of the group or the influence of the group is there, and because of that the chances of your opinion changing is very high. Now, groupthink also makes you think that something is ethical even if it is not. So all these 7 reasons actually doesn't allow you to take your responsibilities, accept your responsibilities and share your responsibilities towards the outcome of any activity in the organization. And because of these reasons, there are so many unethical things happening in the organizations. So I hope you have understood both the points today. The rest of the 3 sessions we will be taking in the next session. Thank you.